Alright, welcome back to a Rambler Review broadcast. Tonight will be the JV Ramblers against the Houghton Lake
Good evening, Houghton Lake.
Bobcats.
Welcome to for tonight's junior varsity basketball game between the Ramblers of McBain and the Bobcats of Houghton Lake. The number one reason kids play high school sports is to have fun. Good sports are winners because it's how we play the game. Not this time. Next time. So let's meet the starting lineup. Starting with McBain.
I will be your announcer tonight, Cameron Nuthaway.
Okay, here we go.
Going on to our players.
Rayla Williams. Okay. Okay, number 12, Michaela Buck. Number 21, Michaela Van Polen. Number 22, Adria Roosevelt. And number 32, Brooklyn Hall. Alright. I got a little bit of Youngkin blood in me. I know McBain names. Okay, here we go. For the Bobcats, number 11, Myla Danker. Number 12, Alexis Tift. Number 20, Alize Crosby. Number 22, Jaden Beal. And number 23, Morgan Flute. The Ramblers are coached by Tim O'Malley, and the Bobcats are coached by Amanda Parks. The officials for tonight's game are Shane Petrie, Chris Gibson, and Steve Faust. These officials are registered with the Michigan High School Athletic Association and are here to help the athletes learn on the playing field. We request that you respect their honest efforts in administering this contest.
All right, let's play ball. Bobcats got the ball there. Number 22, Jaden Peel. Blocked by Van Polen. Looking for an opening. Overhead to 23, Morgan Plutt. Hall throwing in. Van Polen. Roosevelt. Roosevelt for two, and it's good. Plutt throws to Peel.
Rambler basket number 22, Adria Roosevelt.
Plutt with the dribble. Hall will be throwing in for the Ramblers. To Van Polen. Over to Wallinges. To Roosevelt. Roosevelt for two, and it's good. Plutt throwing in for the Bobcats there. Rebound into Tift. Tift to Alexis Crosby. Over to Peel. Peel back to Tift. Adria with a successful steal and hold there. Hall to Van Polen. Van Polen going down center. Roosevelt. Roosevelt for two, but it's no good. Hall on the retrieve. Over to Van Polen. Back into Roosevelt. Roosevelt for two, that's no good. Hall just trying to get that ball back up. Back to Van Polen and blood. Plutt over to Dankert. A little bit of Funny thing
It
there.
was a team effort, but 21, basket for 21, Michaela Van Polen.
Roosevelt over to Briella, back to Roosevelt, up for 2, but it was no good. Roosevelt trying to get back up there, but a foul on the Bobcats, giving Roosevelt for 2. First point conversion is good. Going for her second. And it's solid. Nice. All right. Throws to Tift. Van Polen on the block there, really trying to defend. Peel had the ball.
30-second Bobcat timeout.
Timeout from the Bobcats there.
It's a good time to say, hey, don't forget that this is the concession stand over there. It's got some hot Gatorade and water and some popcorn and pizza and other good things that are good for you, or at least good for the sports program. Thank you.
Bobcats definitely needing a little bit of a warm-up here at the beginning before they get fired up. Ramblers like a steam press, paving the way here. Flo will be throwing in. Over to Peel. Van Polen with a foul there against Peel. Over to Peel. Peel stolen by Wallinges. Pass to Van Polen. Van Polen up for 2, and it's good. Flut throws over to Tift. Foul on the Ramblers there. Plutt will be throwing it in. Looking for an opening here. Or to Peel. Peel faking out Van Polen a little bit there. Thrown over to Tift. A little bit of misdirection there as the ball gets stolen by Hall. Over to Van Polen. Well, went up for 2, but it was no good. Foul on the Bobcats. Allowing Van Polen up for 2. First one's good.
In for the Bobcats, number 25, Haley Gasper.
Oh, right there. But it was no good. Van Polen up to shoot for 1 more. And it's good. Tift over to Peel. Back to Tift. Stolen by Van Polen. Up for 2, and it's good. Peel over to Owens. Back to Tift. Tift over to Peel. Peel looking for a direction here. Goes for 2, and it's good. Just ahead, 3-point line there. Hall into Van Polen.
And the Bobcat
Over to
number
Roosevelt.
22, Jaden
To
Beal.
Wallinges. Up by the Hope, shoots for 2, and it's good.
And Rambler basket number 11, Briella Wallinges.
Wallinges will be up for 2. Van Polen out for Ridgeway. Oh, Wallinges was only for 1, my bad. But it was no good.
In for the Ramblers, number 3.
Ball goes out by the Bobcats, giving Hall the pass in. Hall over to Roosevelt. Back to Hall, who shoots for 2, and it's good. Over to Owens. To Peel.
Rambler basket number 32, Brooklyn Hall.
Ramblers with a foul. Owens. Over to Tift. Tift to Owens. Travel there. I'll be throwing in for the Ram. Oh, actually. Look at Bosher throwing in. Over to Ridgeway, who shot for 3, but it was no good. Bosher to throw in. Stolen by Peel. Ball continues with Bobcats.
In for the Ramblers, number 21, Michaela Van Polen.
Owens over to Peel. Throws to Gasper. Was up for 2, but it was no good. Out on the Ramblers. Peel to throw in. Out to Dankert. Over to Jasper. And Owens, and then Peel. Peel defended by Ridgeway. Went up for 3, but it was no good. Retrieval by Roosevelt. To Van Polen. Over to Ridgeway. Ridgeway for 3. And it's solid and it's good.
3-point Rambler basket, Adolin Ridgeway.
Owens over to Peel. Peel up to Dankert. An unsuccessful pass, though Ramblers knocking it out of bounds there. Owens to throw in. Into Dankert. Dankert over to Tift, but it was stolen by Van Polen. Over to Owens and then stolen by Blood. Hoop was just a little high for the shot.
In for the Ramblers, number 11,
Ball back to the Bobcats.
Wallinges, and number 23, Ava Rawson.
Owens over to Peel. Over to Tift. To Jasper. An unsuccessful hold there by Van Polen. Seems Jasper had a good hold on the ball there. Owens to throw in. Over to Peel. Shoots for 2. Just off the back of the rim there, but it's unsuccessful. Dankert threw in for Peels. Sorry, Peel. Over to Owens and Gasper. Ball out on the Ramblers. Peel to throw in. Peel over to Tift. Tift getting blocked there, or defended by Van Polen. Ridgway coming up for the defense on Peel. Peel looking for an open and good play here. Over to Dankert, but it actually went to Tift. Ball nearly stolen by Van Polen. Over to Owens. Stolen by assist by Ridgway and Wallinges.
In for the Ramblers, number 2, Madeline Reiner.
Ball goes back to the Bobcats at the bottom of the key.
In for the Bobcats, number 23, Morgan Lute.
Peel to throw in. Over to 23, Plutt. Plutt back to Peel, but there was a travel. I apologize here. Reining was on throw-in there. Ridgway for 3, and it's good.
3-point Ramblers basket, number 1, Madeline Ridgway.
Tift over to Dankert. Apologize there on the slow announcing there. Ridgway trying to steal it there from Peel. Peel up for 3, but it was no good. Ramblers on the take. Over to Ridgway from Van Polen. Up for 2, but it's no good. Ridgway will be up for 2. The first one's good. Second one also good. Ramblers seem to be on a streak tonight with, if not a near 100% accuracy there. Appears to be a travel on court. Reining to throw in for the Ramblers. Over to Van Polen. A little bit of an overthrow. Wallinges. Ball went out by the Bobcats. Reining to throw in. Over to Van Polen, who went up for 3, but it was no good. Taken by number 11. Not 11. No, it was 11. Dankert. Stolen by Reining. Pass to Wallinges. Up for 2, but it was no good. Peel now has the ball. Throw up to Plutt. Foul on the Ramblers.
In for the Ramblers, number 12, Michaela Blood.
Peel to shoot some conversions here. First one, kissing the lip of the rim there. Van Polen and Rawson switched out for Blood and Roosevelt for the Ramblers. The second conversion just over to the right side of the rim there, but no good. Roosevelt on the retrieve. Over to Blood, who shoots for three. Oh, it just bounces around the outside of the rim there. Over to Reining, who went for two, but it was no good. Roosevelt, who went for two again, but it was unsuccessful. Over to Peel. Ridgway on the steal there. Up for two, and it's good.
Forever foul number 1, Alan Ridgway.
Plutt over to Tift. Hefty Rambler defense there. Ramblers really defending their home turf here. Reining to Ridgway. Driving up the court. Ridgway to Wallinges. Blocked by Plutt. Plutt to throw in. Over to Tift. Knocked out of bounds by Ramblers. Reining. Over to Ridgway. Ridgway was up for two, but it was no good.
All right, that closes out the first quarter. Ramblers 28, Bobcats 2.
28-2 in favor of the Ramblers.
Again, don't forget to visit our friendly concession stand over there. We have popcorn, candy, water, Gatorade, and a smile.
Bobcats really figuring out a game plan here for the second quarter. Same with the Ramblers. You can see Tim O'Malley down there. There's a towel over his shoulder, really just trying to tell the game plan here. Seems the Ramblers for this quarter switched out Blood for Hinton. All right, Reining to Ridgway. Ridgway for three. No good, just shy right of the rim. Plutt throwing for the Bobcats. Over to Tift. Tift over to Plutt. Plutt to Dankert. Unsuccessful passes was blocked by the Ramblers there. Ridgway for Hinton. Over to Ridgway again. Ridgway passing half over to Hinton. Shoots for three, but it's just to the right and back of the rim. No good. Over to Plutt, into Tift. Tift with a pass over to Dankert, number 11. Ridgway with a steal. Tried throwing over to Wallinges, but Wallinges is just not far enough there on the court. It's taken by Plutt. Over to Gasper, and then back to Tift. Ball nearly taken again by the Ramblers, by Hinton. Plutt was up for three, but it was no good. Ball went out by the Ramblers. Plutt will be throwing for the Bobcats here. All right, over to Tift. Tift to Gasper. That's for two over the shoulder, but it's no good. Retrieval by Hinton. Passing half. Shooting three. And it's solid. All net, all swish. Plutt over to Tift. Tift weaving the defenses there. Back to Plutt. Plutt over to Tift. Ball stolen by Reinink over to Roosevelt. Roosevelt over to Hinton. Stolen by Gasper. Foul on the Ramblers. Plutt to throw in. Over to Tift. Tift trying to weave through those Rambler defenses there. Dankert trying to get the retrieval, but Ridgway with a steal and up for two, and it was good.
Ridgway, basket. For the Ramblers.
Timeout by the Bobcats.
Full timeout for the Bobcats.
All right, now I'd just like to say that this snack time is brought to you by Little Town Jerky. Located in downtown Reed City and uptown Falmouth, you can find some of this delicious jerkies that they have. Plutt to Tift. Back into the game, just under 6 minutes left on the board there. Over to Dankert. Dankert defended by Wallinges. Over to Owens. Owens back to Tift. Tift over to Dankert, who gets blocked by Ridgway. Roby over to Roosevelt and then Ridgway. Ridgway up for three, no good. Plutt drove all the way down the court there. Roosevelt over to Ridgway, who threw it all the way up to Wallinges, who went up for two and it's good. Plutt over to Tift. Tift over to Plutt.
Bobcat basket number 33, Kelsey Owens.
Owens. Ridgway to Roosevelt, shoots for two and it's no good. Tift over to Dankert. Gets into Owens. Owens over to Plutt. Steal by Hinton. Up and over for Wallinges. Over to Roby. He shoots for two, and it's good. Plutt over to Tift.
Number 14, Bridget Roby.
Tift back to Plutt, who throws it back to Tift there. And then Tift tried going up for two, but it was blocked by the Ramblers.
In for the Bobcats, number 24, Natalie Yost.
Roosevelt stolen by Owens. Seems there will be a full team switch here by the Ramblers. Switching in Van Pullen, Boscher, Hall, Blood, and Reining. Van Pullen past the halfway. Past the Boscher. Back to Van Pullen, shoots for 3. No good off the lip of the rim. Blood going up for 2. No good. Hits one side to the other of the rim there, bouncing out. Blood up for 2 points. First one's good.
This is Bobcats, number 20, Alizé Crosby.
3.5 minutes left here in the game. Blood up for his second conversion. And it's good. Tiff looking for a catcher. Jasper came back for the save. Jasper back to Tift. Tift over to 24, Yost. Over to Crosby. Crosby throws it over to Tift. Got shoulder blocked, it appears, by Van Pullen. Tift going up for 2. First one's no good. Tift up for a second, but it was no good. Van Pullen switched out for Ridgway. Boscher over to Ridgway. Ridgway up for 3. No good, just shy of the rim there. Blood back up for 2, and it's good. Owens to Tift. Tift looking for a path to success, and she seems she has found it. And she was up for 2, and it was good. Hall to Ridgway. Over to Boscher. Off the backside of the rim there, it was no good. Up for 3. Blood up for 2, but it was no good as well. Owens to Tift. Tift passing the halfway into the key. Blood trying for a hold. Hinton switching out the Hall here. Owens over to Tift. Back to Crosby. Owens to Tift. Tift up for 2, but it's no good. Boscher trying, almost getting the ball stolen there by a pack of Bobcats. Goes to Blood, who gets it to Hinton, who goes up for 3. And it's good, solid, all net, all day. Tift looking for a pitcher. In the pitch from Owens. Stolen by Ridgway. Over to Boscher, up to Blood. And then Hinton up for 2. But it's no good. Boscher up for 2. Also no good. Taken by Tift. Passing to halfway. Being defended there by Ridgeway. Block there by the Ramblers.
Rambler timeout.
Half timeout called by the Ramblers there. Ramblers may be in the lead, but it could be anyone's game here. Tift up for two. First one's no good. Second one's also no good. Bosher over to Ridgeway for the Ramblers. Looking for an opening. Reining over to Ridgeway. Stolen by Tift. Ridgeway back with a steal. Almost taken again by the Bobcats there. Ball went to Reining, back to Ridgeway, over to Hinton. Being blocked by Crosby. Rawson. Stolen by Tift. Bosher to throw in for the Ramblers. Over to Reining. To Hinton. Hinton over to Bosher. Back to Reining. He shoots for three. No good, off the lip of the rim. Appears there was a foul from the Ramblers there, from some discussion there from the refs. Owens. First one is no good. Up for her second conversion. Second one also no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Ramblers. Giving the Bobcats another prime chance here. Tift trying for the retrieval here, but it seems the Rambler defense was just a little bit too strong there. Bosher over to Ridgeway. Over to Rawson. Rawson up for two. On the backside of the rim there. Taken by Peel over to Tift. Tift passing the half and then into the key. Back to Gasper. Owens, who was up for three, but it was no good.
And now it's halftime.
That would be the end of our second quarter going into halftime.
All healthy things like that. Here comes the Thunder.
This game getting bit by bit more intensive as the minutes go on here. Seems the Ramblers are really trying to keep up a fierce lead on their defense and offense. Behind or not, it seems that the Bobcats also have kept their spirit. We'll have to see how the next half goes.
Wisconsin.
Apologize for the pop there, folks. I am back now. All right, we are back to our JV basketball, girls basketball against Houghton Lake with the Ramblers. Blood instantly. First 5 seconds, up for 3, and it's good. Peel, passing halfway, defended by Van Polen. Blocked by Van Polen. Van Polen going and steals the ball. Runs up, but is blocked by Owens on the pass. Ramblers taking the ball back. Hall here trying to pass it to Van Polen, and now it's successful. Over to Blood, who's up for 3. And it's good.
3-point
Ramblers must have eaten their Wheaties on their halftime there. Peel past the halfway. Defended by Van Polen and Blood there for a second. Bumped out of bounds by Van Polen. Owens to throw it back in. Looking for an opening with Peel, and she found it. Peel over the back trying to make for a 2, but it was no good. Over to Hall, to Blood. Blood for 2, but it's no good. Van Polen for 2, and it's good. Over to Owens, and then Peel.
Wearing your basket number 22, Adrian Roosevelt.
Peel tries to throw it to Tift, but the ball gets stolen by Blood, who passes it back to Hall. Throws it to Van Polen, who goes for 3, but it's no good. Crosby over to Peel. Peel up for 2, but it was no good. Retrieval by Blood. Blood passing the half. Throws it to Wallinges at the top of the key. Roosevelt and Hall, who both went for 2s, but was unsuccessful. Roosevelt into Wallinges, who goes for 2, but it's no good. Taken by Crosby. Stolen back by Roosevelt, over to Blood. Goes for 2, and it's good. Passing the half and into the key. Peel going up for 2, but it's no good. Van Polen with a harsh steal. Bosher, Ridgway, and Lawson switched in for Blood, Roosevelt, and Van Polen. Peel Throws over to Crosby. Crosby looking for an opening. Wallinges on the other end, though. In all the turmoil, it seems Ridgway retrieved the ball. Dankert to throw in for the Bobcats. Owen switched in for Crosby. Dankert to Owens. Owens over to Peel. Ball was taken by Hall, who went up for 2, but it was no good. Bosher to Wallinges, who goes up for 2, but it's no good. Hall up for 2, but it's also no good. Wallinges, who throws it over to Ridgway, goes for 3, off the back and no good. Wallinges back for 2, but also just over the rim there. Taken by Peel. Ramblers with a foul. Dankert. Over to Peel. Nearly defended there by Ridgway. Hall, who passed half and into the key, up for 2, but it's no good. Rawson knocking the ball out of Peel's hands. Plutt in for the Bobcats, throws to Peel. Peel over to Owens and Plutt. Stolen by Ridgway. Ridgway, who runs it up and goes for 2, but it's no good. And Wallinges for 2, but it's good. Rolling right around the rim and then right in.
Number 11, Brianna Wallinges.
Peel defended by Ridgway. Pass over to Tipped, but it's intercepted by Bosher, who throws it over to Wallinges, who went up for 2 and it was good. Peel over the passing the Bobcat. Over to Owens, back to Peel. Peel up for 3, and it's good all net, all day. Bosher to Ridgway.
Number 22, Jaden Peel.
Ridgway over to Hall. Shoots good for 3, but it's no good. Bosher passes it back to Hall. Also no good. Throws it over to Wallinges, who goes up for 2, and it's good. Plutt passes to Peel. Crossing over the Bobcat there in the middle. Tries looking for Plutt, but could not find her. Bosher on the take. Wallinges fighting for the ball with Plutt. Throws the ball over to Rawson, who went for 2, but it was no good. Gasper over to Peel. Running into the key. Goes back for a 2, but it's no good. Hall running up the sideline. Goes up for 3, and it's solid. Around the rim and down the net. Peel passing to Bobcat. Peel looking for an opening, passing it to Plutt. Over to Gasper, who passes it back to Plutt. All net, all day there. 3. All over to Ridgway. Up to Wallinges. with a travel.
In for the Ramblers.
A little bit of excitement, some happy feet there, causing a travel.
22, Adrian Roosevelt.
Plutt, pass to Peel.
Number 14, Bridget Rove.
Peel up to Plutt, who throws it over to Gasper, who goes for three, and it's no good. Taken by Hinton. Hinton to Roosevelt. Roosevelt for two, and it's good. Plutt to Peel. Peel over to Tift. Peel over to Plutt. But the ball was stolen by Roosevelt last second there. Roosevelt unable to scrounge up just the last second to try and get an opening to throw a full court shot, nearly three-quarter court shot, over to the hoop. Unable to look for that opening there. It was just not enough time. Plutt over to Tift. Tift back to Plutt. Plutt goes up for three, and it's solid.
3-point Mountain basket. Good shot.
Hinton over to Bosher. Bosher goes for three. No good. Roby on the save. Bringing the ball back in bounds, but it was stolen by Tift. Pass over to Plutt. Plutt running into the key. Pass over to Gasper. Goes back to Dankert. Taken by Roby. Roby to Rawson. Rawson up for two, but defended by the Bobcats. Fierce defense here by the Ramblers. Plutt over to Tift. Tift up for two, but it's no good. Roosevelt over to Blood. Back to Roosevelt. Up for two, but it was no good. Taken by Dankert. Over to Tift. Tift into the key. Stolen by Hinton. Over to Roosevelt. Roosevelt in the key, but goes up for two, and it's no good. Roosevelt going up for two. First one's good. Roosevelt's second, no good. Taken by Tift, over to Plutt. Plutt looking for an opening. Over to Dankert. Goes for two, but was defended by the Ramblers. Roosevelt passing the half and going into the key. Back to Hinton. Over to Roosevelt. Roosevelt to Reining. Reining up for three. Slides over the rim, and no good. Plutt looking for a catcher. Plutt to Tift. Back to Plutt. Blocked by Blood. And pass to Reining. Too much forward velocity there in the ball. Oh, went right into the Bobcats' face. On the wall, of course. Tift back to Plutt, who goes for three, but it's no good. Right off the back left side there. Boscher over to Blood. Unable to get that ball. Boscher switched out for Roby. Plutt over to Tift. Back to Plutt. Roby over to Blood. Blood to Reining. Over to Blood. Over to Roby. Went for two, but it was no good. Roosevelt going for twos. First one was no good, but the second one was good. Tift passing the half and into the key. Goes for two, and it's up, and it's good. Roby over to Reining. Reining over to Roby, who shoots for two, and it's good. Tift, pass the Bobcat, pass back to Plutt. Runs right into the key, defended by Ramblers there.
In for the Ramblers, number 23, Ava Robson.
Roby to Reining. Over the Bobcat, into the key, from Roby to Rawson. He goes for two, and it's good. Plutt over to Tift. Went over to Yost, and I believe that was he went for the three there. Apologize, I was looking down at the sheet at the names. Roby over to Reining. Reining passing the half. And then over to Hinton, who shoots for three. Off the lip of the rim, but it's no good. Taken in a turmoil by Rawson, back to Roby, who shot for three, and it was no good. Roby over to Reining. Tift stealing that ball. Back to Hinton. Hinton throws it up to Boscher, who throws it to Rawson. Rawson going for two, and it's good. Last half minute on the board here, folks. Plutt to Tift. Runs it from the half into the key. Yost going for a three. slight defense there from the Ramblers. Reining running past the half, up to the 3, but no good. Rawson back to Reining. Stolen by Jasper. And Tift, who goes for 2. But it was no good. Tift up for 2. First one's good. Second one was no good. Jasper with the retrieve, trying to get another 2 up there, but it was unsuccessful. Ramblers with the win here at the end. 74-17 in favor of the Ramblers there. I would just like to say that the sportsmanship here down the court, it's one of the best things in any sport. Now, I would just like to thank everybody for watching the stream here tonight with our JV girls basketball from the Ramblers of McBain against the Bobcats of Houghton Lake. Next up will be the varsity girls Ramblers game against the Houghton Lake Bobcats varsity. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all there.